Can a vaccinated person be counted as unvaccinated? The answer to that is indubitably yes. So when we look at this, the CDC put in specific rules to limit the number of breakthrough cases. A lot of people go, well, what's vaccine breakthrough? It's a good question. We never have called it that before. We always called it vaccine failure, or specifically vaccine efficacy failure. It got rebranded in 21 to vaccine breakthrough. So when you hear vaccine breakthrough, equate it to vaccine failure. I'm going to be calling it vaccine failure from now on. On screen, you'll see breakthrough. What the CDC did was it erected a bunch of rules to limit the accumulation of vaccine failures. One of the things they did was they made sure that every person had to be symptomatic to be evaluated. Another thing they did was they made sure that everybody had to have a PCR value, a cycle threshold value lower than 28. And what that does is it removes a lot of false positives, right? They didn't do this for the unvaccinated, but they did this for what they deemed fully vaccinated. And then they put some additional rules in whereby a person cannot be deemed fully vaccinated unless they've had both shots Pfizer, both shots Moderna and NIAID, one shot Johnson & Johnson, and it has been at least 14 days since the last shot. So there's all these little specific rules, and that's to limit the amount of failures. What it does is in this country is we have four distinct groups. We have four distinct data groups. We have the fully vaccinated with a booster. We have the fully vaccinated and no booster. We have the partially vaccinated, and we have the unvaccinated. Here's the rub, Dr. Paul. The unvaccinated clearly are going to be in the unvaccinated group, but the partially vaccinated, people who only got one out of the two shots, or it hasn't been 14 days since their last shot, they get counted as unvaccinated as well. A person who's gotten both shots, but it hasn't been 14 days, they get counted as unvaccinated as well. And that's a way to take from these two groups here and add them to the unvaccinated so that you can make this look like it is a pandemic, quote unquote, of the unvaccinated, when really it's a crisis of the unhealthy and severely nutrient deficient.